Alright, Shalom. Back once again to do another lesson for the spirit and power of Yahawa. So, first and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawa, Bahashem Hakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, and a sincere Shalom to all you Arkim be pushing this word around the globe in faith, in truth, and in sincerity. So, as always, I want to start by saying we are the true Hebrew Israelites. The true Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, West Africans, so on and so forth. We are the true descendants of the man named Israel. But this also applies to anybody who may look like any of the other nations. But if you believe in this word, King James 16:11 Bible, believe in the names Yahawa and Yahawashi, Yahawa being the Heavenly Father, the one the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahawashi being the true name of the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. If you believe in all this through faith, then you too might be an Israelite no matter what you look like, because as I always say, Israel has been scattered amongst all nations. So this isn't a black-white thing or a colour-only thing. This is about your seed line pertaining to Numbers 1 and 28. Go read that if you want more edification on that. You don't know what I'm talking about. Read Numbers 1 and 28. So, and also Google GMS 12 tribe sign if you want to learn more. So jumping into this lesson, I was just reading this article, and this is going to go into the judgment of Yahawa and how it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. So I've read this article, and it says women, this is from the Daily Mirror, which is a popular tabloid newspaper here in the UK. So it says, women born without limbs become best friends after feeling alone in the world. And it says, Jaleesa Austin and Chastity Young were born with rare conditions that left them feeling alone until they met each other through a documentary. So it says, women missing limbs brought together to become best friends. So let me play this. If it plays.
Like a, hey. How long y'all been together?
13, 14, 16, 18, 20.
What?
14 years.
Yeah.
Most of the questions I get is basically, how do you eat? How do you write? Who take you to the restroom? How do you bathe? Who do your hair? Who puts on your makeup?
I prefer for a kid to come up to me and say, hey, lady, what's up? Where your hands at? Why you so little like me? And we can have a conversation.
My condition hasn't affected nothing in my life. As short as I am, I'm very... You're going to know I'm coming through the door because my voice is loud. So it haven't affected my life. Nobody ever made me...
All right, so let me just bring out something here. Here you've got two what look like they're possibly Judite women. They look like they're definitely Jake. I'm assuming they're Judites because they're American, but can you hear these women are still talking proud, man? These women, they ain't got no arms. They can't put food in their mouth. They can't feed themselves. I mean, they probably can't even wipe their own ass after they take a shit, right? But yet they're still proud. And this is Yahawa Bahashem Yahawashi bringing judgment on these women for either sins they've done in this life or the past. Yeah, and for Yahawa to bring this kind of judgment on someone, that's a harsh judgment, man. To live your whole life without limbs, man. That's just this. But again, let me just get a precept. Don't let me talk too much. Hold on a second. Let me find this precept. It's lucky I'm just finding the precept here. Yeah, this is 2 Corinthians 5 and 11 I want to bring out. It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Yeah, I'm going to read that again. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. So, Another precept I want to get is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. There we go. This says, this is Yahawa speaking. It says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Just bringing up another precept here if I can find it. No, I can't find it. Slack ya. Let me get back into this video.
Made me feel different, and and if they did, I used to say, "Boo, what you looking at?" And then go on by my day. I'll walk out the door, and I feel like I'm Beyonce.
Hello. Don't diss my ability. It's really important to me. I don't call it disability because a disability by term is something that restricts you from doing something else.
Be scared of the world. The future holds for me and Chastity friendship. We're friends forever. Facts.
Now I'm going to bring out John 9 and 2. I don't know, let me finish this article, then I'll bring out John 9 and 2. So basically it says, two women who are missing limbs have become best friends through their comparable hardship. Yeah, that is some hardship, man. Jalissa Austin, 31, who was born without arms, knees, and only with 7 toes, met Chastity Young, 32, who lives with tetraamelia syndrome after learning of each other's life story through a documentary. Tetraamelia syndrome, which is just a funny way of Esau saying the judgment of Yahawa B'Hashem Yahawashi, is a rare congenital disorder that has left Chastity without hands and very short legs. They have since become best friends through their very rare similarities. The pair decided to meet in person and Chastity travelled across. This doesn't make sense, man. People who write these articles can't write, man. It says the pair decided to meet in person and Chastity travelled across Texas in the US from a home in Dallas to Jalissa, who lives in Houston. Now, just I'm going to let that picture marinate for a minute, man. Just look at that, man. It's the judgment of Yahawashi, man. The Most High is not mocked, man. Going to get some other precepts out here. Yeah, beautiful precepts I'm going to bring out. Just give me a second, yeah. So it says, Jalissa and Chastity have become best friends after discovering each other's rare condition. Chastity said, I saw Jalissa's story and I got so emotional. I was like, I can't be the only person on this whole earth missing arms. Where are they at? And Jalissa confirmed there's actually somebody out there who suffers the same experience as me. I was like, I have to find her. When you don't see people like you, it feels like you're the only person in the world that's like that. Everybody needs an identity. So I'm happy to have met Jalissa because now I have somebody to identify with. You know, we have our family and we have our friends, but it's like those moments where you need somebody like you because we have our own struggles that they could never relate to. Some 30 years ago, doctors predicted Jalissa would never be able to lead a normal life, and to this day she's still unsure of what caused her abnormalities. Oh, that's beautiful, man. Let me read that again. Some 30 years ago, doctors predicted Jalissa would never be able to lead a normal life, and to this day, she is still unsure of what caused her abnormalities. Well, I'll tell you what caused her abnormalities. It was the wrath of Yahawa. Yeah? And it's funny that you can sit here 30 years on this earth, cursed day in, day out, and you don't stop and you don't consider. And the scriptures say that, man. The scriptures say the ox knows the ox knows master and the ass is master's crib, but Israel doth not know, they do not consider. it's roughly paraphrasing, but basically that means that most Israelites are hard-headed and they don't stop to consider, hang on a minute, who's the one who's responsible for this? Who do I belong to? Because being Israelites means we're joined unto the Lord, you know. So let's keep going. So you got a picture of this person here, man. Chastity was born with tetraamelia syndrome, a rare condition that left her without hands and with very short legs. Yeah. But Jalissa certainly proved her doubters wrong, learning to use her feet when conducting everyday tasks like brushing her teeth and texting on her phone. She said, most of the questions I get are basically, how do you eat? How do you write? Who takes you to the restroom? Who puts your makeup on? My condition hasn't affected anything in my life. Well, that's a bold-faced lie. There are so many people that aren't able to be themselves because they are scared of the world. You need to be yourself and be thankful that that's what me and Chastity are doing now. Chastity can also use her feet to perform activities that she would otherwise struggle with. Chastity left with her sister Ashley and Jalissa White with her fiance Jonathan. Boy, Jonathan's a braver man than me, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to go there, man, but that, to me, that's some horror film shit, man. Anyway, they have been on the receiving end of lots of staring and pointing in public spaces, but they've quickly learned to ignore their haters and stay positive with the people closest to them. Chastity said, I prefer it for kids to come up to me and say, hey lady, what's up? Where your hands at? Why are you so little like me? Then I can have a conversation. I always try not to be offended. I don't call it disability because that makes it sound like something is restricting you from doing something else. It restricts you from getting from A to B. But I've made it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you name it. See, again, this is the pride of you so-called black women, man. This is your pride, and Yahawa has put you in a situation to humble you. You're still walking and talking proud as hell and not considering the power behind all of this. Jalissa and Chastity have racked up thousands of followers in their social profiles. They learn to ignore haters and stay positive with the people closest to them. Chastity said, my experience with them has been amazing. I hope they continue to help raise awareness. Jalissa added, I've really loved the experience of telling my story, and through Born Different, I've had so many positive messages. I'm just so glad for the opportunity. Jalissa is currently planning her wedding with fiancé Jonathan, a 5'6" able-bodied man, with a date set for next year. Whilst Chastity, along with Jalissa, is continuing to be an advocate for people with disabilities and is helping others to learn to love their body no matter what. See, this is the stupid love thyself, man. Love thyself doctrine, man. Chastity said, I think my future has zero limits. Again, look at the pride of these people, man. This is insane. Being an advocate, there's no humility in any of this. Being an advocate for people with disabilities is very important to me, so I'll continue to do that. The two of them are thrilled to have met each other in person and can't wait to continue their friendship. Jalissa added, the future is strong for me and Chastity. We're friends forever. We'll be friends till Newt catches you. Let me bring out some scriptures here. What do I want to start from? This is the judgment of let me get this. I'm going to get Isaiah 3:12 on down. Alright, it's not letting me access this. Fuck. There. Let's see if it works now. Okay. Satan's trying to throw the video off. It's lucky, man. There we go. Now it's working. There we go. It says, Isaiah 3:12, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the ways of thy paths. Yahawa standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. Yahawa will enter into judgment with the ancients of the people and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind their faces of the poor, saith the Most High of Hosts? Here we go, this is the point. Isaiah 3:16. Moreover, the Yahawa saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. You see, because the Judite women, like Judah being the head tribe of Israel, they were some of the most banging women at one time. We were the most beautiful people on the earth. But now we're under the curses, and now we're people that's destroyed. We're all jacked up, and this precept goes into how I was going to curse the women of our nation, particularly the head nations of Judah, and it also goes on to Benjamin and Levi and on down. But anyway, it says, therefore will the Most High smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahawa will discover thy secret parts. So that's saying it's going to smite with the scab the crown of the head. That's why a lot of you so-called black women, you can't grow your own hair. That's why you're having to run to buy synthetic hair and put weave in your head and all this kind of shit, man. Because you can't grow your own. Just take a look at what's that woman's name? Naomi Campbell, man. If you ever see the state of her head, man. Anyway, let's just keep going. It says, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round tires like the moon, their chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, and the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass, here's the point, Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair baldness, and instead of a stomacher a girdling of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy man shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So again, this is all judgment from Yahawa Shai. There's an account in there's an account in one of the Gospels where Yahawa Shai and the disciples came across a man who was I don't know if was he blind or was he something else. It's lucky I can't think of it off the top of my head, but he's basically a man who Yahawa Shai healed, and the disciples asked Yahawa Shai saying, Master, who sinned, this man or his parents? Which goes to show that back in ancient times we had an understanding of reincarnation and judgment, where judgment is when you die. You go up before the judgment throne of Yahawa in the spirit realm, he pronounces your judgment and you rest for a time, and then you come back every 3 to 4 generations, and you live again in a new body, same spirit, new body, but you play out your judgment on the earth. Because in the book of Ecclesiastes, I believe it says the place of judgment is under the sun. So basically, whatever these women were doing in their past lives, or even in this life, Yahawa's brought judgment upon them. So whenever you see someone who's born blind or born or disabled or jacked up and shit, that's the judgment from Yahawa B'Hashem Yahawashi, man. I read it in Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I'll read it again and close out. Get it again. It says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. See, that goes into reincarnation right there. If you get killed, the Lord can make you alive again, yeah? I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So with that, man, I made the point, giving all praise, honor and glory unto Yahawa, B'Hashem Yahawashi, B'Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and a sincere shalom to your Archim who is still pushing this word around the globe in faith and in truth and in sincerity. And until next time I'm able to do a lesson, Lord willing, I say shalom.